Someone broke your trust. It's more than the hurt or anger you feel. Broken trust feels like the ground underneath you just crumbled. It changes the way you see the world, and sadly, the way you see yourself. It makes you question your judgment, your worthiness. It's not just about them, it's about what it did inside you. I've gone through a lot of people breaking my trust, more than I can count. And I'm creating this video and sharing my story because back when they broke my trust, I didn't think that it would get better. And I didn't think that I was going to be able to heal. So I'm here to show you that there is hope and to take comfort in knowing that everyone else goes through very similar situations. So I'm here for you, and I hope that the stories are entertaining and good. Different people will break your trust. Friends, family, romantic partners, people you date, people that you work with, like your coworkers. The list can go on. Anyone in this world could hurt you. Now, I've experienced a lot of these types of people breaking my trust, and the only one I really haven't is family. I don't think I've ever experienced my family breaking my trust, and I'm very lucky for that. I have had my trust broken so many times that I can't name to you how many times my trust has been broken. So I've really only picked the main moments that I want to share with you guys. So the first moment is about just me getting my trust broken for the very first time. The very first time that I got my trust broken, it was unimportant. It doesn't affect me today, and I wouldn't expect it to. When I was younger, I had this best friend. I would tell her everything. I was talking to her. I was like, I like this guy, and he's super cute, and he likes sewing, and I just really, really like him. And I told her this, and I'd never liked a guy before. She ended up telling her mom that I liked him. And it was an innocent thing. Her mom really just wanted to know everything about us and what we did, and that was between her and her mom. I was furious. I was so mad that she told her mom that I liked him, and I really just stopped telling her those things. I just stopped telling her things about the way that I felt, and that's nothing against her. And I've definitely come to peace with that. I probably came to peace with that probably a year after that it happened, when I was 8 or 9. It really wasn't that big of a deal for me. It was annoying, but I just knew that I couldn't tell her things. So it was a small break with my trust, and I put up my boundaries, and I didn't talk to her about those things anymore. I wanted to share with you my story about when I first got my trust broken. So I thought that was a good thing to share. All of the other ones are not in chronological order. I met this guy while in the city, and I was there for a tattoo convention, and we started talking a lot. We played online games together, and we'd fall asleep and call together. It was basically an online relationship outside of us seeing each other on the weekend. I started to fall for this guy, very hard. Very hard. Harder than I had ever fallen for anyone before this guy. So we started dating for about a week, and his parents he hadn't told yet. And his parents started to get suspicious because he was always out late. And so, because he would have to take the train and then come over to me, and I'd just pick him up from the train station, I was like, dude, just tell them, it's gonna be fine. And he wasn't allowed to date because of something that happened in his old relationship. Parents wanted to protect him, so they told him he couldn't date anymore. He told his parents. Worst idea on the planet on my part. I blamed myself for a long time that I was the cause of him leaving my life. I got a text, and he said, it's really bad. They're making me choose you or everything else. He was like, oh, I want to choose you. I was crying to myself as I was texting him this, but I was like, you have to choose everything else. You can't choose me. I'm not everything else that you have in your life. He ended up having to block me. His parents took full control over his phone. I then went into this depression for so long. And so then I started spiraling, and I started trying to figure out how to contact him. I looked him up, and I fell down this rabbit hole. He lied to me. And this is crazy to me because people online can lie to you, and it's yeah, you get it because you don't see them. It was crazy to me because he lied about every single aspect of his life. I have no idea whether his parents actually took his phone away. I honestly have no idea. He lied to me about every single part of his life. And I was honestly heartbroken. I didn't know what to do, and I was just so angry. I was so angry with him. So the last story I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to try to make this short, it's honestly the one that has affected me the most, and I've brought up kind of the situation before in my other videos, is I've only had a relationship with one person. I've dated other people, but I've only had a relationship with one person. We dated for 2 years. That entire relationship, all of the stuff that I said in the toxic relationships video, you guys can go watch that because there's a little bit more explanation on how he was in our relationship. Throughout the entire 2 years of our relationship, he was my best friend. He was my best friend, and I trusted him a very high amount. He essayed me for 2 years, and I didn't know that that's what it was because it was my first relationship and I had never, experienced like that. I was like, oh, if I say no, since like he's my boyfriend, he's still allowed to do it, since me saying no doesn't matter. And so the thing that really broke me and broke my trust fully was him trying to do a step further than that, and I didn't want it. So that really traumatized me and it broke my trust. I lost recollection of that memory for 6 months, and I dated him for 6 more months, and then everything started to come back about 3 weeks before my birthday, my 18th birthday. And when I started to realize, I started talking to my online friends and a few of my friends that I know in real life, and I was like, is that what happened? Is that what this is? I didn't remember. It was such a traumatizing time for me, and I fell apart after that. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep for 3 months. I would have PTSD attacks at 2 a.m. So I stayed up to try to prevent them. They didn't always go to plan. It was really hard. It was really hard on me of that situation and my trust being broken. I didn't know how to open myself up again to people. When my trust was broken so many times, my world started to shatter after every single boundary broken with these people. And I started to fall into this solitude by myself. I didn't talk to new people. I didn't talk to my old friends, even though I knew that they were safe to talk to. I got to this point where I started to not do anything, and I then started to lose confidence in myself, my self-esteem. I started to not trust myself anymore because I was the one who started those friendships and were in those friendships, and I was the one who quote-unquote chose those people. I didn't trust myself to choose anyone after that. I felt like I was going to forever choose wrong. And the more that it happened, the more I became detrimental to my mental health. Got to a point where I didn't think that I deserved happiness. I didn't think I deserved love. I didn't think I deserved someone treating me nice. It got so bad that I didn't think that anyone was ever going to love me. I then also stopped taking care of myself. Healing for me was a long time thing, and healing in general doesn't have a specific timeline. For example, the situation that happened for me when I was younger with the girl is that I healed from that, healed from the pain that I had been in 2 months, and then I just, got over it within a year. The pain from different situations are going to be different based on the level of them. And the main thing that I had to start doing is I had to be honest with myself about how much pain I had actually felt from those situations, what they had done to me on the inside, and how it was going to affect me going further. I then had to forgive myself. I had to forgive myself for lowering my standards. I had to forgive myself for choosing the wrong people. I had to forgive myself for letting my self-esteem and self-confidence drop, even though it shouldn't have. The most difficult part about healing from your trust being broken is forgiving. The thing my mom used to tell me when I was younger was, Abby, if someone ever breaks your trust or hurts you, make sure you always forgive them. It doesn't really matter if you keep them in your life or not. You can forgive someone and take them out of your life. But the reason that you want to forgive them is when you don't forgive someone, your energy is constantly being put out to that person in that situation because you haven't forgave them. The minute that you forgive them and you remove yourself from those memories, from that situation emotionally, and just empathize with them, then it's going to bring you your power back. And that is one of the hardest things that someone can do. For me, it took a long time to practice and to work on forgiving people like that. And all I have to say is it's 100% worth it. When you can be empathetic towards people who have hurt you, you gain this new energy in you, and it is incredible what it can do for your future relationships and for yourself. Along my healing journey, I had to rebuild my self-trust. And rebuilding my self-trust, it was pretty difficult. I did all of the things that I said in the video that I had just posted 2 weeks ago. It's about learning to trust myself, and so can you. I'll put it up there as well. And so basically, I did those things, but I also did specific things for each relationship. Like I would go and ask myself, okay, Abby, what did you learn from this situation? You picked this friendship for a reason. They didn't just come to you, mess up your life, and leave. There was a lesson to be learned. I made sure that every single person who has left my life, I know the lesson that I should learn from it and am supposed to learn from it, because if I don't learn it, then the situation is gonna just come back around with someone new. I'd also just constantly tell myself and reassure myself, I deserve better than I have gotten. I deserve to be treated good. I love myself. I am enough. People love me and people care about me. I care about myself. I would constantly do these affirmations, and I know that you've heard it all before about affirmations and you're like, oh, that's, botched. It does not work. There's just this voice that didn't listen to all the normal voices in my head telling me that I wasn't good enough and all of the negativity. There was a point where I was just like, no. Anytime that I think that I'm going to tell myself all of those good things about myself because I want them to be true. And they became true. They did. I would also sit with myself to just meditate and to process the things and the emotions and the feelings that I had from those situations. That is a super important step in the healing process, because if you don't acknowledge how you felt from the situation, one, you're not going to learn from it, and two, it's going to get buried deep inside of you and you're not going to get over it because it's still inside of you waiting to be expressed. The result I got from healing myself from broken trust is I have better relationships now. I can put up boundaries for those relationships and for myself so that they don't go out of hand and so that I can protect myself and my well-being. So just to recap everything, broken trust shatters our sense of safety and self-worth. It's more than anger, it's a deep wound that changes how we see the world. My experience is I shared how different types of broken trust damaged my standards, confidence, and quality of life. I isolated myself and lost motivation. Healing started with acknowledging my pain and forgiving myself for getting into hurtful situations. True forgiveness was difficult but necessary to release the negative energy. I did everything in the video that I posted a couple weeks ago, but I also learned to set boundaries around my values and expectations. Tuning into my body's signals helped me discern who was trustworthy. My relationships, including the one with myself, became stronger. The pain no longer controls me, and I'm firm about not repeating the same mistakes. Hey, I'm Abby. Welcome to my channel. So today's video was super important because everyone goes through having their trust being broken. And I want you to know that I'm here and I've experienced very similar situations as you. You're not alone in any of this. And if you're looking and needing support in these tough times, look down below. Type in the comments, answer the question that I've put down there, and to just start connecting with me. But also go ahead and join the Discord server so that you can get immediate support, so that I can start helping you and other people can start bringing that to you for what you need. So I'm on the internet because I want to bring my stories to life and to start bringing my advice to people, because I believe my advice can help at least someone get through the thing that they're going through. My goal is to create a community, a place where we can just support each other, and it's not some place that holds expectations to you, that we'll hold you accountable, but if you fall off the wagon, we're not going to be there to punish you. We'll be there to help you get back on and to find out why you fell off in the first place. If we want this message to spread, I just need your help to like, subscribe, and to comment and just share, just so that we can push this message out to everyone who needs to hear it. And to subscribe, because I have a lot of content planned and I want to be able to help you as much as possible. That's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and you learned something new today. Again, comment down below and have a wonderful day. You're doing amazing, and don't ever forget how strong you are and how many things that you can accomplish and have accomplished. Have a wonderful day. Bye.